Hey everyone, it's Mark Ling here, and the doors are about to close on Sophie's eSelling machine program. And with that, I want to announce 6 brand new AI tools that have been held back until today. One of them even generates an entire children's book for you. These tools are phenomenal, and they are for anyone that joins before the end of the launch. So this is to reward the early movers that come in during this year's launch. And these tools, without further ado, I'll just describe what they do. So keeping in mind that they're only available until midnight Thursday, so that might even be tonight by the time you're watching this video. The doors are about to close very shortly. So without further ado, I'll show you these new tools. So the first of these bonus tools is another chapter writing tool. There are different types of chapters that you can write in a non-fiction book. Some chapters have a lot of key takeaways, solid information, maybe the odd inspirational quote in there, mixed in with some really decent information, and then maybe a summary at the end. Some may have a bunch of scientific studies that get referenced throughout, and occasional breakout boxes with offshoot stories and so forth, and then key takeaways at the end. In this particular case, it is a listicle style chapter. So this is a new tool that's only available if you join before the doors close, and they're closing very shortly. So a quick example of this is I just typed into the tool how to be happier in life is the book niche. I said mental toughness secrets is the topic of the chapter. I did not fill in any additional notes, and it started out with a bit of an introduction, like mental toughness. It's a measure of your ability to persist in the face of challenges and adversity. It's not about being stoic or unemotional. Rather, it's about managing your emotions, adjusting your thinking, and making positive actions. The first secret I'll share with you revolves around self-awareness. You need to know yourself inside out. Strengths, weaknesses, triggers, etc. This knowledge comes from, all right, and it carries on. But you want to see, well, where's the listicle part? Well, the first whole page of it was a bit of an introduction. I put the second page of it over here I actually put it into a Word document so you could see what it would look like. So that key takeaway came at the end of this little section, and then it said, now let's dive into my 5 pillars of a mental fortress. And then you've got pillar number 1, self-awareness, and it's described that, and then it's got and some action steps to take. Then it's got resilience as number 2, and so forth. So this will generate an entire chapter for you in listicle style format. I always recommend people take any chapter that's written and they enhance it using Sophie's other tools. There's several other tools that come with. In fact, there's more than 24 tools, not even counting these bonuses, that can add color and flavor. Like you could add to that self-awareness section an inspirational quote from somebody, or maybe some scientific research or something like that from a research paper that shows the benefits of self-awareness. I'm just saying, though, that that's what this chapter does. It provides a really good chapter, but I like to look at them as a skeleton chapter that can be built upon to make it even better. Here's another tool called the blog post creator. Now, you do not have to own your own website at all with Sophie's method. However, if you do own your own site, or you do wish to make all of your books around a similar subject area, and you want to get some content and some relationship with your readers and so forth, then one thing to do is to perhaps start a blog and produce blog posts. Maybe you'll even use this instead on social media and post these on Facebook or something. The idea is that it creates a lot of content around a particular topic, and it does it really well. So an example here, this is a blog post about how to stop dogs from pulling on the lead, and it starts out with a little bit of an introduction into it, and then it goes on with several strategies that help. And then, it goes on with some key takeaways and so forth. It writes a really detailed, long-form blog post. So, yeah, you receive that if you join today as well. Super bonus tool number 3 is the advice quotes tool. So, I just typed in here this morning, how to run a marathon. And it's come up with 20 pieces of advice about how to run a marathon. Sometimes it'll come up with 25, sometimes 30, sometimes more. It's not like always 20, but again, it's giving you advice. So these could form a breakout box or something if you want to quote somebody, or it may be ideas that you might want to tick off like a checklist to make sure that your book does cover all of these different things. Okay, so what is it saying here? Gradually increase your mileage over time to prevent injuries. The Non-Runner's Marathon Trainer by David Whitsett. What have we got here? Number 4, I'll just scroll down. Strength training can help you improve your running efficiency. That's from a scientific research paper called The Effects of Strength Training on Running Economy in Highly Trained Runners by Yi Millet et al. So that's something you may put in a breakout box. You may research that even further and get a longer quote. It's up to you, but it's very helpful. And don't forget, you don't have to write these books yourself. Sophie just basically collates a bunch of information like this together, hands it off to a writer, pays them, say, $600 or something, and then they write the whole book for her. But you can write it yourself as well if you want to be self-published. These tools make it so easy and efficient. You could even write a book in a weekend using these tools and, a bit of your own time to flesh out a few things here and there using the other tools and piecing it together a little bit like a jigsaw puzzle. It's really good though. Now, the formulated method tool, have you ever noticed that sometimes on a particular topic you'll look on a bookshelf in the bookstore or you look on Amazon and all the tables of contents sometimes seem a bit same like on certain topic lines, and if you want to stand out, then you really want to name some of your methods. So some of your chapters you want to have a little bit something different about it. So for here, I just wrote in the target market is people wanting to boost their energy and feel less tired. The desired outcome was boosted energy, enhanced mental focus, and more productivity. And frustrations are, they've tried other methods that haven't worked. And then it came up with, I think it was about 8 or 10 different ideas and methods. So here it's got the 10-minute morning recharge method to ignite your energy levels. This approach involves a short but intense 10-minute morning workout. This exercise routine works because it helps to increase the heart rate and oxygen supply in the body, which is known to increase energy levels and mental alertness. It also triggers endorphins release that improves mood and overall happiness. Then you've got discover boundless energy with the Power Foods diet plan. Okay, and it goes on from here with lots of different ideas. If you like one of those ideas, you might take that, put it through one of the chapter generator tools, generate a chapter around that method, and then you could embellish upon that with using some of the other tools if you wish to add breakout boxes and other things. So anyway, very powerful tool. It's really, really important to have that little bit of uniqueness when people are skimming through the chapters of your book before they buy. So I think that you don't necessarily need to do it for every chapter, but certainly for maybe 3, 4 or 5 of them, you might want to have some sort of formulated name of a method just to differentiate yourself. The book summary tool. This tool takes any book, or just about any book. This takes any one of millions of books out there anyway, and it writes a book summary. And it does this even for books that no summary has ever existed before, as long as it's been selling on either Amazon or Barnes & Noble or one of those book sites, and it's been selling, even if it's only made a handful of sales, a lot of the books are in there. I'm finding like books that only have two reviews left, and it's still able to come up with a really good book summary. So it's really interesting, and it goes and looks at places like Amazon reviews, goes and looks at Reddit and other places for people's take on the books, and obviously it goes with its own knowledge of what the book is already about anyway, and it goes and writes this really good summary. So if you're wanting to do some research into your niche, you may want to, instead, if you can't afford to go and buy 20 books on the topic, you could just go summarize 20 books and learn from the summaries. It'll give you the quick overview here. It goes and gives you all the key takeaways from the book. It then goes and gives a bunch of other positive and negative reviews of the book from what different critics have had to say or different reviewers have had to say, and then it goes and gives a little bit more detail at the end and forms a bit of a conclusion as to what it thinks of the book and what the key takeaways the main overarching key takeaway is. So it's a really, really handy tool. I haven't seen anything like it before, and I know that some people will say, hey, I'm a member of like such and such book summary site or whatever. This is different. It's different, okay? And I think that you'll find this to be highly effective and really handy. What if you want to write a young children's book? You know, young children's books aren't actually that many words. Particularly, I mean, I've got a 5-year-old. I know what it's like. The books are short. These books here, this is even for younger babies. Quantum physics for babies. I would imagine those books probably only have 100 words in them, but you've just got to have an idea of what words to put in there and what images should go with them. So that's where this Write a Young children's book tool comes in. Here's a quick example here, and I'll give you a bigger example in just a second. So I've typed in here, the age of the reader is 5. The topic of the book is Red Ricky the Digger helps save a flooding in a front yard from a broken water mains. Additional notes include a boy called Tim, and Red Ricky is not alive, he has a driver. So it starts out with a title, Red Ricky the Digger saves the yard. And then it goes, page 1, an image of a bright sunny day with Red Ricky, a happy looking red digger on the road. Once upon a time, in a town full of cheery homes and friendly faces, there was a bright red digger. His driver gave him the nickname Red Ricky. And then it goes on from there and tells the story. A fuller example of me using the tool is over here. I just did this just before recording this for you. I just said the age of the reader is 5. The topic of the book is Pete's dog goes to space. Additional notes, children reading this learn about some of the planets. Pete's dog accidentally boards an alien spaceship, but eventually gets to come home. Great, so let's just go through the story, because it won't be that long. It gives you the image suggestion. I won't read those out, but I'll just read the first one. Pete, a cheerful young boy with bright red hair playing fetch with his cute brown dog in the backyard. All right. Once upon a time, there was a boy named Pete. He had the most amazing brown dog. Together, they loved to play fetch and explore their big backyard. One Sunday afternoon, while fetching his ball at the park, okay, so at the park now, Pete's dog found something strange. It was shiny and round like his ball, but the size of a car. It looked like a spaceship. Suddenly, the door of the spaceship opened. A beam of light shone on Pete's curious little dog, who could not resist stepping inside. Inside were lots of colourful buttons and levers, and with an excited wag of his tail, he accidentally hit one of them. Zoom! In an instant, the ship soared into the sky. Oh no, poor Pete watched from below as his best friend disappeared into space. In space, everything seemed so different. From the window, Earth looked tiny, but where was the ship taking him? Soon they reached Mars. It was all red, just like Pete's hair. Rocks here were taller than any mountain back home. And the next stop was Jupiter. It was bigger than any other planet they passed by. Its swirling clouds made it look like a giant marble. And then came Saturn with its beautiful rings shimmering under starlight. It looked like someone had drawn circles around it. However fun these planets were to see, none felt like home for our little hero. His heart missed chasing balls in his backyard with Pete. With a happy bark, he pressed another button. And zoom, back to Earth they went. Pete couldn't believe his eyes when he saw their rusty old spaceship landing back safely. There stood our brave explorer, wagging his tail happily. They hugged tightly before going back to their favourite game, fetch. And even though space was full of wonders, nothing compared to being home. The end. That's a kid's story. Kids' stories are that short. I know it because I read my kids' bedtime stories, at least the younger two anyway. And they are that short, and they're even shorter if they're for a 2-year-old, say, than for, say, a 5-year-old like this one here. And yeah, I think that for some of you, if you like the idea of putting children's books out there and using that method, then this tool will be an absolute game changer. I really do. I think that this will be awesome. Now, you could combine that with using AI to generate images for the stories, if you so wished to, and stuff like that. That's definitely something you could totally do. Or you could pay someone on Fiverr to make the images for you. But again, the actual content side of a children's book, it's pretty quick to put together, and I think that's a really amazing bonus as well. And these are the bonuses. These were never even announced until now. All the members that have joined up until now, they're all going to wake up to this being in their members area and be saying, wow, I'm really glad that I joined this program. I didn't even know I was getting all of those additional tools as well. But there you have it. So on top of the 20 plus incredible shortcut tools, you also get all of those. And of course, the main part of the program is the whole blueprint. Sophie's step-by-step training that shows you exactly how she's gone from zero to over $5,000 per week selling books on Amazon, and how she keeps on scaling that further and further. So for any one of you that's ever dreamed of being self-published, or has ever dreamed of just owning some online real estate that just keeps on ticking away, making some passive income, then this is a really, really strong business model. So with that being said, that's it for this particular video. I strongly recommend that you get in before the doors close, or at the very least go check out some other information, other videos, or a webinar replay, or jump on a final call session or something to find out more about this program before the doors close midnight Thursday. All right, that's it for me. Bye for now, everybody.